guys are doing well. So you all know that I am doing the Bhubaneswar series, and in respect to that, today I will be showing you another very famous place. And when we went to this place, which is Konark Temple, and we went to a lot of other short places. I will show that in small videos. I also gave you a number of a driver in my previous video. If you haven't watched that, please do go and watch that after watching this, so that you guys can get those details. You guys can easily contact that driver and go there, and for the rest of the details, watch the full video. Car parking is rupees 40, and entry for people in the temple is rupees 50 per person. Now there's another museum before going to the temple. You guys can see that, and you know, if you see that, you will get to see an animated version of how the temple actually was. The entire temple, now it is destroyed, but the actual temple, how it was like, and the history of the temple, how it was made, who made the Konark temple, and why would they do so in such an area. Every detail and history is there, and there are a whole lot of other things as well, so you guys will enjoy that. And I think you should see that before going to the temple, because then you will get a better understanding of what is what. And the entry to the museum is rupees 30. So the concept of this temple, because like this is a sun temple, you know, and this is not just any sun temple. The sun rises there, and the first ray of the sun falls in the Nat mandir of this temple. So basically there are three divisions of this temple: Nat, Jog and Mukho. So first of all, the sun rays goes to the Nat mandir, then to the Jog, and then to the Mukho mandir, where previously a lot of years back, like centuries back, there used to be a statue of God, sun god, and the sun rays used to fall on his feet. So it was absolutely beautiful then, I guess, because, well, just speaking of it and you are imagining it, it is really beautiful. And also, if you guys go now, if you would prefer that you go on there in 7 a.m. in the morning or when the sun is setting, because it is really beautiful sight to see then. Now, the first thing you guys must have heard that this Konark Sun Temple is also called the Rath Temple or Chariot Temple. Now, why is it called so? Now, I don't know, because I went on 25th December. It was very crowded and I could not take pictures properly. I don't know if you would understand, but if you looked at the video closely, you will get to see that the temple is actually shaped like a chariot, and there are 7 horses that are built in front of the temple. That symbolizes that the 7 horses are pulling these 3 structures, the 3 temples which I mentioned earlier, which were the Nat, Jog and Mukho mandirs, and these 7 horses are pulling the chariot, and that's why this is also called the Rath mandir. Now, if you see the video closely, you guys can also pause that video and watch it, or I will be giving the picture on the community tab or in any shorts, differently. You guys may see that from that as well. But what I am meaning to say is that in front of the temple, you guys will see 2 pillars, where first of all at the lower level there is a human being, and on top of that is an elephant. On top of that is a lion. Now, what does this symbolize? What does this very unique pillar? So basically what it is symbolizing is that elephant represents wealth and the lion represents power. And so what is this saying is that when humans come in contact with wealth and power, when he has both wealth and power, they tend to grow arrogant and lose their humanity under the weight, by pressurized by this wealth and power, which are both materialistic things which humans don't really need. Now when you enter from the ticket counter, the first thing that you will see in front of your eyes, that structure is the Jagamohan Mandir or Jagamohan Temple, and the height of the Jagamohan Temple is 128 feet, and the Garbhagriha or the Mukhya temple, like the main temple, is 200 feet. Seen a lot of chakras all around the temple. Now, since this is a chariot temple or Roth temple, you guys may wonder that these are just the wheels of the chariot, but these, of course, these are the wheels of the chariot in one way, but if you look at it the other way, these are actually a very important thing in this sun temple, which is a sun clock. Now, what is a sun clock? So basically, these sun clocks are kept and the sun rays falls on them, and the shadow, you get the time depending on where the shadow falls. There are total 24 lines in this wheel, and wherever the shadow of the sun falls, you get to know what time is it. So people in the older days used to detect time using these sun clocks. So these chakras we see on the Konark temple, have you guys ever seen them in anywhere else? Like, try to remember. It may be a bit familiar to you, not just in your pictures, but the money that you use every day, the 10 rupees that we use, it has the picture of this chakra, of this wheel, of this sun clock on the 10 rupees note. So in a book of Abul Fazl, we get to know that 1,200 workers worked for 12 years to make this temple, and the money used to make this temple was funded from the tax which were collected by King Narasingha in 13th century, and the temple creation was commanded by King Narasingha, and the main leader who were under making this temple could not finish the entire temple. I told you about the previous, the statue inside the temple, right? It was actually a floating statue, and he couldn't do it. He couldn't make there was a magnet mechanism inside that made the statue floating, and his son actually made it possible by placing a pot on the top of the temple. He did that, but the final story is not that, it's not a happy ending we usually have. The son died drowning in the Chandrabhaga Sea, and if you want to know the entire story, like why and what happened that caused these events, do write in the comments box, and maybe I will tell that story to you one day. And if you want to see that story, the animated version in your eyes, you guys may go to that museum and you guys will know that whole story. And there is another part to this story, history of even making this temple. So there was Lord Krishna and there was his son Sham, and one day he was really sick, and to recover from his sickness, he went to the Chandrabhaga seaside, and the sage Konark told him to sit there on the Chandrabhaga seaside on a stone and meditate, and the stone which he sat on is the base on which the Konark temple has been made. In 1984, UNESCO declared this as a World Heritage Site, and within India's 40 heritage sites, this is one of them. And since then, government has been keeping this place together for people to see. Now, have you noticed if you go there, you will notice that there are carvings on the Sun Temple, and these carvings, if you just go there with time and see, these carvings represent life, just from birth until death, from starting to the end. I even noticed one inscription myself, which represented motherly love, and a lot of other things. If you just go there and see, you will see each and every inscription there is so meaningful. It represents everything that we do in life, in human life. Now, to support what I just said, Rabindranath Tagore, the famous Nobel laureate, the famous author who has given us many beautiful plays and stories and poems, also dedicated a line to this temple exactly saying about these inscriptions. The line, as I quote, is, "Here the language of stone surpasses the language of man. Even we man cannot say anything." That the language of stone here means that the stone is describing something that even humans cannot possibly describe in their entire life. Like, that is really hysterical, isn't it? Previously, the temple used to be exactly beside the sea, but now it is not exactly beside the sea. The sea moves a bit each year, and we all know that, and the difference is shown after all these years. And there is a beautiful marketplace just beside the beach and the Konark temple. You guys can also roam around that place as I am right now showing you. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and also do write in the comments box if you want to know more stories like this, and I will be expanding on the stories that I said today in about brief if you want me to do so. Thank you for watching.